respected dignitaries on the dais and in the audience, members of the press, donors, well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a great day. It's a day of celebration, not just because we won the Pakistan match yesterday, that we won well, that taste of victory is still fresh, but more so because today is Navratri. Navratri is the festival of Goddess Durga, and today is the day we start new things and probably try to get rid of evil from this world. So it's a very religious, auspicious day in the country, and also auspicious day for inauguration of two wonderful departments that you had seen. I'm still trying to get myself away from the first three musical instruments and then the three presentations. And it was like Vilambit to Druttal in sudden tempo change. But it was wonderful, both the things, the presentations as well as the music. And I'm very proud that these two departments have been inaugurated today in the new building. I myself was surprised looking at the facility in the Annex Center. It will take 1 month more for the building completion and the final department to start. If you have an opportunity, please go and see these two centers. They are outstanding. I would urge you to visit these centers. I'm going to speak today because Direct Relief has been such a long time trusted partner and mentor of Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital. I'm going to speak on a very important subject of receiving and giving. And this subject is very close to my heart because I have made this journey as a young doctor back in 1986 to where I am today. And this journey started with the first hospital where we did not have any funds. And as doctors, we were very shy to ask for help from others. We had a saint called Saint Kabir in the 18th century who was very famous for his small philosophical quotes. So one of his quotes was, Maru par mangu nahi, marunga par mangunga nahi, apne tan ke kaaz. Means for myself, I will die, but I will never ask for help or for anybody to kind of give me any charity. Paramartha ke karan, means if it is for other people or for the good of the society, mohina ave laz, then I would not feel ashamed at all to ask if it is for other people and for the society. So that is something which is very close to my mind, that I would be hesitant to take even a penny from somebody, including this institution. But if you have to ask for help, be very generous in asking if it is for the society. And when I went to meet Dr. Shantanurao Kirloskar, who was a doyen of Indian industry in '92, he told me, young man, if you have to go around asking for help, you must have the hat in your hand. So don't be shy saying that we need money and we need help. And we raised this hospital in terms of a trusteeship and not ownership. So trusteeship means we raised all the funds from people of India, and we don't own anything out of it. We are just the trustees of this hospital. And when we are trustees, we are proud as to what we have achieved today, because whenever we go to a person to ask, we are in a situation of to be or not to be, to ask or not to ask, whether they will behave well with us or they will not behave well with us. And the givers are also to be or not to be, to give or not to give kind of situation. So on both sides, there is hesitation. There is probably starting with some amount of distrust, and then it progresses further. And this bridge we have crossed, to be or not to be, long ago. I think today everybody trusts Dinanath in terms of medical care as well as entrusting their funds. So the Dinanath mission today is equitable healthcare. Equitable healthcare means any section of the society, poor or rich, irrespective of caste, creed, race, religion, will get best healthcare if they come to Dinanath. This was Lata Mangeshkar's dream, that unlike her father, anybody who comes here will receive the best of healthcare. And we have been doing our best to remain true to this dream. And I'm going to give you some figures, not just be non-specific, about how it started and where it ended. So in the first year, we received donations to the tune of $1.5 million. That was in 2001, 2002. And we spent in our charity approximately $150,000 in charity. We didn't have much. We had a bank loan. We were struggling as an organization, but we still did small charity. And every year the charity increased, and today the accumulated donations of Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital from 2001 to 2023, and these are in our balance sheet, are 225 crores. That is, I don't know how many million? 225 crores. Okay. So somewhere between 20 to 25 millions is what our clever Rajan Joshi is telling me. Yeah. And the amount of charity we have done, receiving these generous donations, is 420 crores. So Rajan, how much is that then? So that is about $50 million we have spent from the donations of 25 millions that we have received. So this was all the time our intention to give back to the society, amplified from what we had received. And these are all figures published in our balance sheet for you to verify. So we did not become like Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost, that we are unable to give. We are very happy to give. So I'm going to speak today about art and science of giving. Because science of receiving is very easy. You want money and you want people to help you. But to give is not as easy. So the first question of science of giving comes as to why give in the first place. It's your hard-earned money. You have worked hard. You have started from humble beginnings. Why do you want to give? And there is a vicious triangle which supports this philosophy. The first part is insecurity. That means you are insecure that you might not have sufficient money for your children, for your old age, for your generations to come, for difficult times ahead. So through that insecurity, you don't want to give. The second angle of the triangle is you feel that we are resource poor. As a country, we are resource poor. As people, we are resource poor. As Puneites, we are resource poor. And we don't want to give because we are resource poor. That the resources may dry up and you would end up not having anything in your hand. And the third part of that triangle is greed. Everyone wants to grow. Everyone wants to have millions of dollars in their bank accounts to get their company to number one level. So that greed keeps on driving you forward and you never look backwards. So there was a very great saying by Baba Amte that there is a conflict between samata and kshamata. So samata is equality and kshamata is ability. So there is a conflict in the society between equality and ability. And the capitalism works on ability. It doesn't work on equality. So equitable is a word which is very difficult when you don't want to give. And you don't want to give, but there are people who think, and I have met such great people all over the world, most so in DRI, who say, why not give? Why don't we give? Because they feel, first of all, that there is abundance of resources. And one of the great countries which thinks in abundance of resources is the United States of America. Because if you have resources, you want to give to the world. And as Indians, slowly, we are now changing our mentality under the current Prime Minister, thinking that India is a country which can give. Otherwise, all the time we were thinking that we are a country which should receive. But we can give. And this abundance of resources is very important for giving. The second is security. Security is a mindset. You feel secure that I am a capable person, I am a good doctor, I will earn money even under the tree on a road, in spite of the wars, whatever happens, I will earn. Many people feel that they may not be able to earn in future because of, I don't know, illness, accident, I don't know what, but they feel insecure. So the security is a mindset, and that is related to the happiness index if you have read about analysis in the world. And I feel that we must learn to be secure, to feel confident in our abilities. So the security is not because of the circumstances, it's because of our ability. And the last and least is satisfaction. Satisfaction about our society, satisfaction of where we are in life, satisfaction what we are doing. And I think this positive triangle can lead people to give something. And we must learn to give. I was very moved when my nephew came with me and we went to Prakash Amte, who works for tribal people and tribal health. And it was the first time he was traveling with us to Prakash Amte's Hemalkasa. We went together, we stayed there, and at the end of the visit, he offered his first salary in his life. He was a very young engineer with a very small salary in the first year of engineering, and he offered his first salary to Prakash Amte for tribal work. I was moved by that. One of our young radiologists sitting here in the audience, she offered her first salary for charity department of DMH. So we must learn to give even when we don't have much. So this monk, Zen Sadhu, they go from door to door asking for alms, for food, for whatever. He went to a door and asked for food. The woman came out, she was very poor. She said that I don't have anything to give you. I am also poor, you are a monk. What is the point in coming to my door? So the monk said that at least give me some dust from your house. She said, why do you want dust? Are you making fun of me? I am so poor. He said that even if you are poor, you must get into the habit of giving. So at least start with the dust, if nothing else. So giving is something that we have to inculcate in our society as a part of our culture. When we have nothing, we must give. When we have something, we must give at least 10% of our earnings to anything. There are many avenues for giving. Typically, I call 5 avenues for giving. One, many people in the old age want to give for religion, for God, for God's work, for temple. I personally have not reached there, but I still kind of understand why they do. Second point is, of course, health, which is so much needed in our country more than any other country, where you must give to improve health infrastructure of our country and of the world. So probably if you go to Africa, if you go to any developing country, the first thing that strikes is the infrastructure and the availability of health resources. So you must give for that. Education is the third thing where everyone wants to give. There are ample people giving for education. I think it builds the nation in future. So we must give for education. The fourth thing is we must give for people who are handicapped, underprivileged, who are blind, who are deaf, who have cerebral palsy, who have many problems that they can't work or defend themselves. Such people must get help from us. And the last and very important, I feel it is lacking in India, is we have to give for the environment, for the birds, for the animals, for the jungles. We must learn to give. We have to preserve these, then only we will preserve our planet Earth. Now, when we want to give, the first question which everybody asks me, and I often talk with our doctors, is how much is enough? So when do we start giving? So the first thing is that when we have a stash of gold sitting at our home, then we will start giving. So unless I have my old age accounted for, my children accounted for, I will not give. And there is some funny statistics about the giving to children and not giving to children. So I had a great person I talked to about how much is enough. And he said that the equation between you and money is like boat into the water. So the boat goes into the water. So this water is the ocean of money. Boat is your life which goes into this ocean. And it is floating on that ocean. If you are floating in the ocean on the boat, you are happy. But if that water comes into your boat, then you are very unhappy. And that is what happens with greed. The water from the ocean comes into your boat and the boat starts sinking. So how much is enough is just enough to float on the water, never to get that water inside your boat. So I call it obesity of wealth. Everybody understands obesity of health. Very few people understand obesity of wealth. That this wealth, which is all around us, is going to spoil us, it's going to spoil our children. And if we give this obesity or this uh, unearned wealth to our children, they will do nothing in their life. So there is a famous letter by Warren Buffett to his children. He earned close to 97 to $100 billion in his life. And out of these, he gave 1% to his children. And the letter says that I am giving you enough, so you will feel you can do anything. But I am giving you just enough, so that you will never do nothing. so, that is very important. And funnily, I was looking at who are the great people who had parental loss in their childhood and no money. And these great people are many across the world, right? From Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Winston Churchill, Lata Mangeshkar. Name big people in the world and they have lost their parents. They did not have their money, and that is probably one of the important reasons they become great. So adversity brings the best out of your children. So what you need to give your children is just good education. Don't give them your house and estates and whatever else you are trying to give them. And I have a feeling that by giving, you are liberated from this trap of greed and probably selfishness. We are trapped by our selfishness, more and more and more. So the store is also called as more. So this more store in our heart is always asking for something, the next model of the car, next model of the mobile. So to stop that, we must get out of this trap by giving small things. The moment you start giving, you feel empowered to get out of this trap. You feel that now you have won this battle with the selfishness. And I think by giving, you are also contributing to make the world a better place. So one of our very eminent author, Shanta Shelke, she was a famous author in India, poet and author. She asked her mother, "Mother, what is the meaning of life?" And the mother said that there is no meaning of life. You have to give meaning to the life. So what is your meaning, giving meaning to the life? If there is no meaning to life, what meaning do you give? So we have 3 stages of giving meaning to the life. When we are young, our only meaning is to kind of be successful, to care for our family, to raise a family. At that time, we are not thinking of the world. We are not thinking of the society. We are only thinking of ourselves. Then comes a middle age where we start thinking slightly beyond us and we start thinking about name and fame. And then as we grow older, those of us who are lucky to get older, they then start noticing that we have to leave a better world for our future generations. So to my mind, the meaning of life is to leave a world better than what I came in. So whatever, let's say I came into 1961 and I don't know when I will go, but when I go, I will leave something better behind. If that is the purpose of life, then giving becomes a very important thing in life, because personal wealth will never take world anywhere. It is the public wealth which will take the world to a higher place. And this public wealth is very abundantly seen in Japan, in United States. Whereas in India, when you travel, you will see a lot of personal wealth and very little public wealth. And this is where we are trying to strike, to work hard, to make India a publicly wealthy country. So we must give to our people around us, to the society around us. And in that giving, there is an art. So I talked about so far about the science of giving. Why give, whom to give, how much is enough. But the art of giving comes from the heart. It doesn't come from logic or from the brain. And this art of giving is something which I feel is you have to give, first of all, without expectation. That means when you give, you should not expect something back, neither name, nor recognition, nor your board put up somewhere. The DR board we have put up is not on their behalf. It is us being grateful to what they are doing, that's why we have put. But they have never ever asked us anything for what they have given. All they want is the society getting benefits of what help that they are providing. Then we must learn not to have boundaries for our donations. We always keep boundaries. I want to give to the certain sect of society, to certain people, to somebody who has to be deserving enough. And for that, I remember Khalil Gibran, he was a great philosopher. So he said, all you have shall someday be gone. Everything that you have someday will be gone. So you give now, because the season of giving will be over soon from you, and it will become season of inheritors giving. So if you want to give, you have to give today when you are there, not give when you have passed and somebody else is giving. And I remember two people who shaped my thinking about charity and donations. One was Mr. Mafatlal Mehta, who used to run Diwali Ben Mehta Trust in Mumbai. He was the third largest diamond merchant in the world. And he was like a mentor, philosopher, guide to me. And he was the one who introduced me to direct relief. And he always said that he has now left business behind to his children. And all his life, his quest, remaining life, his quest was to bring in medical help to India. And he did phenomenal work in Mumbai, bringing medical help to India. So I once asked Kakaji, I used to call him Kakaji, Kakaji, you give this help, how do you know it is going in the right hands? So he said that, and again I'm going to quote Gibran, Khalil Gibran. So Khalil Gibran you say, I will give only to the deserving. The trees in your orchard say not so. They have never asked you who they are giving the fruits to. They give so that they may live forever. To withhold is to perish. And surely one who is worthy to receive day and night from God is worthy of all else from you. So that was an absolutely fundamental thinking for me. So I was sitting with, there was one Mr. Goradia to whose house I had gone. He used to distribute about rupees 2 lakhs. That is something like $5,000, $10,000. 5 to 10, at that time, $10,000 every day to poor people coming to his house. That was his way of charity. And I sat with him and he said, just observe what I'm doing. So one person walked in. He said that my dog is sick. He needs a surgery. I don't have money. So he said, how much do you want? He said, 15,000 rupees. The dog needs surgery. The vet is asking for money. So he took out 15,000 rupees. Thank you for allowing me to help you. Please take and treat your dog. He went out. I said, sir, he may not have a dog for all you know. So he said that I didn't give money for the dog. I gave money for the man. So he may have a dog. He may have a sick dog. He may need money for himself. I'm just trying to help. So my job ends where my help begins. And such people, I think, should shape all of our thinking into where we are going. So Direct Relief is an organization which works across the globe without expecting anything back. And I have seen it for last 23 years. And whether it was tsunami in India, whether it was flood in Orissa, whether it was earthquake in Gujarat, whether it was earthquake in Harari, whether now it is war in Ukraine or Palestinian-Gaza conflict, Direct Relief is there. They have such a large heart that the amount of donations they have so far given is staggering 1.9 billion. And I have gone there, I have presented my kind of experiences in healthcare in front of their donors. And those donors were chairman of Ford, chairman of Becton Dickinson. The room was full of diamonds. And that diamond full of rooms provide so much money to people across the globe that we don't realize where this money is coming from. So today is a very small occasion to reach out to Direct Relief, to acknowledge and to say thank you for all the help unflinchingly you have given to India and all of the world. So thank you very much. And I don't like figures, but I would like not to beat around the bush. For these two centers, they have given $2.5 million. So Thomas and Bhupi and Suzanne and Gordon and Andrew and Ellen and Alicia. We all are very thankful for what we are doing together. And I have a feeling that together we can make tertiary healthcare affordable to common man, not only in India, but across the globe. I feel together we can balance charity and quality, because charitable healthcare often lacked quality in India, and quality healthcare often lacked charity in India. So we are trying to build a bridge, and we would like to extend this bridge now further than India, and we would like to join you to reach out to communities farther away, not remain confined to a community of Pune or Western Maharashtra. Today we have our friends from Latur and Aurangabad, so we are trying to reach out, and we pledge today to break the boundaries that limit us and reach out with all our heart who need help. And together, I have already talked to you about our future ambitious project. We will build one of the greatest healthcare institutions in the world. Thank you.